All right, let's do a simple animation exercise. So I will make a tall, skinny cylinder in my perspective viewport, drag a little small bottom for the cylinder, and then drag up so it'll be nice and tall like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my box, and in my top viewport, drag a long thing like this. Okay. And then move that up. So it'll be here, more or less centered on top of the cylinder. Okay. And then I'm going to make a couple, we're going to make this thing all twirl like a whirligig kind of a deal. And I'll make another one of these guys out on the end, about the same size like this, I guess. And I will hold down, sorry, I'll move this out to the end. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and copy another one. Okay, and that could just be a copy. All right, so we've created this thing. All right, so we'll make the propellers twirl on the end, and then the whole thing turn around, and then the base waggle back and forth. And it just happens that the objects I use already have their pivot points correct. The boxes have pivot points in the middle, and the cylinder has a pivot point on the base, right? If I click on it, you can see there's the pivot point down there. All right. So when we animate something like this, we normally would animate the extremities first and work our way in. So we need to link the thing together first, right? Because we want when the propeller rotates around, we want the little mini propellers to rotate also, right? So we go up top here to select and link, and we drag from the little propeller to the big one, okay? The rubber bandy thing comes out of wherever the pivot point of the object is, right? So we go here and let go. Okay, and then we do the same thing here. We go here and let go. Okay, now we'll pivot the crossbar to the cylinder. So you go from here to there and let go. All right, and you can test it, right, by dragging the whole cylinder. Yep, everything moves. If not everything moves, then you didn't have it linked. Okay, and if I move just the crossbar, okay, all right, and then I can move either of these children. So there it is. It's all set up, ready to animate. So let's start with one of these guys here, okay? And all right, so let's go and first do our filters first down here in the animation area in the bottom right. So filters, and I only want to animate rotation. So I'm turning off everything but rotation. It doesn't hurt anything to have these on, but it just makes more unnecessary complication because they don't do anything. All right, and let's see. So let's make it so everything animates continually. So I'm at frame 0 here with my current time indicator. I'm going to go to set key, and I'm going to put a key down there. Right. Make sure you have angle snap turned on. Okay, go all the way to the 100 here. Got to be in rotate, right? And now when you rotate, we want to rotate like this, right? So make sure that you're actually on the correct, don't ever start dragging on a rotate gizmo where two intersect, because the whole point of this thing is that you can grab them, by its particular axis, right? Grabbing it where two overlap is, exactly how to not use this thing, right? Because you don't know which one's has priority right there, okay? So we're going to do it on the right axis, right? And let's go 360. Okay, and hit the plus sign, right? So step one was hit a plus at frame 0. Step 2 is go to the other point in time, okay? And then make your change and put another point there, okay? I'm going to turn off set key because I'm not actively making keys at the moment. So let's play this thing and see what happens. All right, now I want this thing, first of all, I want it to go faster. And second, I want it to not slow down and stop when it gets to 100. All right. So let's go in here to this key that's at frame 100 and right click on it. And is it X, Y, or Z? Well, let's find out. Okay, if it's X, I go to frame 0 and frame 1, and it says 90 in both cases. Sorry, frame 1 and frame 2 at time 0 and time 100. It says 90 for both, so that's the wrong axis, right? Let's go here and try Y. Okay, so here's a change. It's at 0 at frame 0, and it's at frame 100, it's minus 360. Okay, so the problem is it's going through the keyframe with using this Bezier setting, which we don't want, okay? So you click and hold down that and change it to this one, which is linear. All right, that means it will enter. It might change, but that's okay. That means it will enter the key both ways, okay? It will enter and exit the key in a linear fashion without slowing down. Sometimes I just say random things without thinking. Now you have to actually do both of them. So you go to frame 1 and do the same thing, okay? You can also, these little arrows here on either side means send the same one to the next or send the same one to the previous, okay? So I can click on that, and now you see if I go to frame 1, it's there also. All right, so let's play this thing. Good, so it should play smoothly now. Let's make it go faster. So I'll right click on this key here. That was Y, right? And you know, you want something that 360 goes into. You know, like I could do 3600, or I could do 720, right? If I do plus 720, it'll rotate the other way. I'll just keep it minus. So I'll say 720. Let's make it minus 3600. Whee! Okay. All right, now let's do the same thing on this one, right? So set key, hit a plus, go to frame 100, okay? And let's rotate this thing. You can actually rotate it any amount, right? Because we're going to change it anyway. And put a key down, okay? Turning off set key because I'm not animating. When I'm just adjusting this stuff, that's not creating keys, right? So right click on this one. Is it still Y? I can see that yes, because it goes from 0 to 50. All right, so this one was minus 3600, right? So let's put 3600. Let's see what that looks like. All right, and we have to just change these things to linear, and then also on frame 1, linear and linear. That's pretty good, right? All right, now we just want to do this guy here. So we're just getting some repetitive practice. Set key, put a key down at frame 0, go to frame 100. Let's rotate it 360 degrees. Put a key down, okay. Okay, so we just got to fix that thing where it slows down. So we'll right click on this. Is it going to be X, Y, or Z? Let's have a look. Okay, I guess it is. It shouldn't be Y, right? Let's try Z. Yeah, 360. So let's leave it on 360, but just make these guys linear, linear. All right, cool. Now all we got to do is waggle this base back and forth. So I'm going to set key. It'll just be rotations again. So I'm going to go to put a key down, go to somewhere, I don't know, and rotate it this way. Put a key down. Rotate it back this way. Put a key down. And now I'm going to turn off keyframing, right? But I'm going to copy the key. So I push down Shift and drag this guy to frame 100. Don't go off the end. All right. Now let's see what we got. And it's a weird kind of movement. And we could, you know, adjust those, probably make them all linear instead of Bezier. But for this, since it's not rotating, it's not so important. All right. So, and by the way, if you copy something, right, like I copied everything and hold down Shift, copy, all the animation keys get copied too. See if I can crash my computer, you know. Okay, cool. So anyway, so that's a good start there. We don't need to render this out. The next one will render out and look at how to do that after the next exercise. All right.